we go. All right. Sound check, check, check. 1, 2. Everybody hear us? Hope we're coming in okay. All right. Let me make sure that I got this going. Damn, and that's there, but this has got to go here. Boom. Check, check. 1, 2. All right. Boom. All right, here we go. Hey, everybody! Thank you for joining us, and welcome to the next episode of the E-Meter Audit. I'm really excited. For this one, we got Mauricio Medizen with us, tomorrow is my birthday, so this is kind of my birthday stream. Put it out there, so it was really. So I got kind of picky as far as who was going to be. Just 1 second. Looks like I got to get the meeting invite to Jeremiah real quick. Sorry about this. But anyways, while I do that, I'll talk here, and let's see what's the best way with all these 4,000 machines. So it was really important for me to and I was really specific with who I wanted to play this one. So I wanted to grab someone that was really special to me. And so Mauricio is the guy. So we go back like late 90s, right?
Late 90s, early 2000s, I think, is when we met. I was running my record store, chaosexistence.com. And I had moved to Portland, and I believe that we started talking almost, within months since I had arrived to Portland. So, and basically we figured out that we had very similar music tastes, a very broad variety of music that we like. Specifically, though, we were definitely in tune with what at the time was considered to be psy breaks. So somewhere in between breakbeats and psytrance, which was a very, very rare genre. Not very many people were producing it, and I know that we were both collecting psytrance and we were both collecting breaks, and there was somehow a place where they joined in the middle, and both you and I were intrigued by this occurrence in the music industry.
Okay, there, it's off. Sorry. Yes. So yeah, and I had early 2000s. Allie and I got married June of 2000, right? And so right before then, we had moved to Walla Walla. And I remember moving there. One of the things that I was kind of concerned with was how was I going to get my vinyl fix, right? Because it was right. It was a thing, right? I needed to get my vinyl. It was. I was definitely addicted to it. And what was awesome is I found Chaos Existence, like right when I moved there. And, yo, Jeremiah, what's happening? And so I found it. And what was awesome is that, I could, if I ordered a record by 1:30, typically I would have it the next day. So 1:30 in the afternoon, if I ordered it, it was like show up the next day. So I could actually, like Friday night for a Saturday gig, I could in a pinch, I could order some records and have some new tracks for a show on Saturday, which was freaking awesome. Not only that, but when you could browse the tracks, you could listen to the entire track, right? And so people got to remember, this was like, late 90s, early 2000s, that wasn't the case. One is that there were very few people that sold things online. And then if they did it, you got like 30, 45 seconds to listen to. Some of them, you didn't even get to skip through that 30 or 45 seconds. It was just, boom, here's like the little bit of the track that you can get. With you can listen to the entire track, and your entire library was only what I wanted to buy. right. So you had breaks, you had psytrance, you had some hip hop, and you had drum and bass, and that was all I was interested in, and that was all that you had.
We were very specialized, and we definitely aimed to please. I know that we were trying to push the boundaries as far as what was available at the time. I know that the music industry changed, but I was very keen on I'm a systems engineer as far as like my degree. And one of the things that I realized was that I wanted to have an online shop that represented the actual inventory that we had online, that actually kept track of what was available. At the time, I don't know if you remember, but there was a lot of issues with ordering on certain vinyl sites as well. And basically you'd order 10 records and then only 3 of them were available after they went to pick and choose what, from their inventory.
Yep.
So I wanted to fix that problem. Another thing that I realized was that when I would order records online and I would listen to those little snippets, a lot of times I felt duped, right? I felt like I bought $100 worth of records. And then like out of those, there were maybe 3 that I ended up liking because they only showed me the best parts of each track. Right. And you were paying for like, anywhere from $7 to $12 per record with delivery. Right.
Yep.
And so, I wanted to fix all of these problems that I had realized that I was experiencing and that I wanted to provide to the people, let alone that I was having a hard time finding that niche of music within the US. A lot of the music that I was ordering was basically imported music from Europe that wasn't readily available here. A lot of the new school breaks was definitely being written in the UK, other parts of Europe. Eventually, some of that started to bleed over into the US. But I think you remember that most of the music that we liked, including the psytrance, was being imported even from Japan or from the UK or from even Germany, and it was really hard to find in the US. It was, there were very, very few shops that were carrying that kind of stuff.
Yep. And when you did find them, generally they were white labels and you had no idea who or what it was, right? All you knew is that it was like I would go into some stores and it would be, okay, I'm going in the UK import bin. They have different numbers on them just for their cataloging, and that was it, right? So you just go grab a stack and I just go listen. And that's where, so I have a massive amount of my record collection, of which I still have, that I have no idea what the track name is. I have no idea who made it, but it's dope as fuck, and I continue to play it for 30 years. Right. Hey,
can you guys hear me?
There we go. Now we can. Yeah.
But you're also lucky, and we talked about this last week, if the milligram depth is enough to even make it a viable product. I mean, when they're paper thin, dude, you got to be locked in out of the gate, because you don't want to be touching that record once it starts, because you breathe on some of those thin plates. It's game over at that point,
Yeah.
Well, you mistreat it with when you drop the needle, scratch the record, you're just kind of screwed for the rest. You're never going to find that record again. You're never going to be able to repair that. And, I've got a few of those. I've also started to try to digitize some of my collection, the ones that I really want to keep on playing for everyone, that I think are archetypal pieces of music in, electronic music history. And it's very rare that I'll bring those out, but there's a few gems in there that I'm trying to make sure that they stay, that their energy and their love and their passion stays alive in our culture, so that people can remember where all of this came from.
Yep. So I recently, on somebody else's stream, they were talking about it. But apparently there is this like waffle iron basically for records that you can get, to where you can clamp them down. It's like this thing. It's got a top and a bottom, and you clamp it down and you put it in the oven, I believe, and it freaking flattens them or something like that. Tracy,
waffles from your vinyl.
Yeah. So I want to totally like. I'm like really like excited and yet skeptical about it, because I've got some of my like of them. They're 30 years old and they start to warp a little bit, and and so, hey, it looks like we got Tracy joined us too. Can you guys hear us? You're muted.
I'll be right back.
She spilled wine on my stream deck.
Oh no! Oh no!
She's loaded.
That's how you get it done.
Right? There we go. Right? Things brand new. Oh gosh. But anyway, so there's a possibility to repair it. But yeah, so anyway, so that's kind of how I met you, and I was excited, right? And we kind of started some rapport at that point in time with just like the online portion. Then I moved, right? And then I moved because I was living in Walla Walla, which is right about, I believe, when I met Stitch, who was on last week, who's in the chat. Big up, Stitch. Thanks for last week. So I moved from there to Vancouver, Washington. And I made it a point, like when I was there, within like the first few days of moving there, it's like, okay, I'm going to the store. Like I'm actually like this place has been like my lifeline for like the last couple years of buying records, and then go to the store. And you were in Portland, right? But you were on like the east side of Portland, and it was like 3 flights of stairs in this huge, massive building to get up to the very top to get in there, right?
Do you know that was a Masonic temple?
Oh, was it?
Yeah. That was part of the reason why we chose to set up shop in there. We got an offer from the owners to take that small spot that kind of oversaw. It was like the secret compartment where you got to see everything that was happening in the rest of the building, pretty much.
Oh, you totally did. Where you set up the listening stations, you're totally looking down on that head shop or whatever it is, whatever they had there. I just know they had a lot of blown glass.
Yeah. I'm sure that's all that they did there.
Right. And we would have no use for any of that.
So you had a. I'm sorry. You had a store. I jumped in here a little bit late. Was this in Spokane area?
No, it was in Portland, Oregon.
Was it Portland?
I'm from Portland. Sorry.
It was in Portland. Okay, cool.
I'm
cool.
like, I know the Masonic temple there.
Yeah, on 39th and Hawthorne.
Like,
yeah, it just went up for auction, I believe. But yeah, it was definitely a special time. I discovered, a small book of Masonic inductees there that I still have somewhere. Very interesting knowledge. I'm not portraying that I am, involved in that manner, but I find all that stuff very intriguing. There's a part of me that definitely believes in some secret.
Absolutely. I've got some
magic,
interesting esoteric books that I don't understand them per se, but
there's some interesting things in this world and in this life, and that's something that I've been realizing a lot.
They reveal themselves as you need it. Is my experience. It's pretty fascinating.
And whatnot. No shape or form are we like about Scientology or endorsing Scientology. In fact, I for one and actually pretty much anti any organized religion. I don't care what the fuck it is. If it's an organized religion, I don't like it. But I'm very much about individual spirituality. Yeah. Right, and individual evolution, and therefore, as we evolve ourselves, we evolve our community, and as long as our focus is in love and things like that. So I'm not really about organized religions, it's really not about Scientology. In fact, I just think it's one of the craziest, most fucked up ones, and I just can't not make fun of it. Right? It's basically what it is.
Until Tom Cruise shows up at your door, you're gonna keep doing what you're doing.
That's right. Or Travolta, right? I guess Travolta's been.
Hey, I have to wonder. You better hope this channel doesn't get too popular. I got a lawyer, buddy. He's not enough, man.
Not
enough for that machine.
There's a slim possibility we may have to change the name at some point, but until then, fuck them, dude. Right? And they're even right